Welcome to an episode of Potion Sword Run. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the Amico and the cult being back. Well, some of it. Now, I take no pleasure in making this video because the Amico is a subject that is very touchy in this community. But if you're going to keep on promoting it, then I have an obligation to my audience, the ones that started following me for the Amico, to report on it. And you guys know me. I gotta have fun with it because otherwise it's depressing. It's depressing. See, because I've become fond of some of these Amico cult members, as we used to call them before. A cult because they would follow the company's word blindly. It looks like some still do, but I don't hate them for it. I don't, really judge them for it. I just have pity at this point. But I guess you get what you deserve because you're still taking the company's word. And not only that, but featuring them. And I'm not going to say they're propaganda, but come on, man. Look at what's going on. Now, I stopped talking about it for a long time. When they announced the refunds and how some people are going to take years and years for it to get back to your wallets. I ignored it. It was laughable. It was like unbelievable. But I was like, oh, you know what? I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to move on. But, John Alvarado gave an explanation on why it was taking so long. And supposedly, I guess he wrote a script using AI to determine when you'll get it, and that's it.
As I mentioned, being down to a skeleton crew, I had to take over the support tickets, and there were a lot of them. There were so many. And sometimes people, when you stop answering support tickets, people send them multiple times saying, answer me, why haven't you answered me? So it was multiplied even. So I needed, I also took over handling the refunds. So in order to try to give people an idea of when they might get the refund, I need to know how many refund requests there are because the people that asked earlier are first in line. And, I was answering new tickets, but I couldn't really give them an estimate of when theirs would happen because there was still a bunch I hadn't processed in the backlog. So I decided to write a program that would use AI to go through all the tickets, pull them down from our customer service website, and then have the AI analyze the ticket to tell me, kind of categorize it. Is this someone asking for a refund, or is it someone asking for, or is it spam? That was the other big, because we get so much spam. And then what I did was have the program also calculate based on their position in the queue when the best estimate of when they would get the refund based on our current rate of refunds, which is not very high because we have very little cash flow. We're being very conservative right now. So we are issuing refunds, but it's at a low rate, honestly.
Because it's based on the income.
It's what we can sustain right now. But we do expect that to improve as we generate more income. And I mentioned that in the emails. But unfortunately, some people that are at the end of the queue got some dates that were really far out there and that were quite shocking, frankly. So that's what happened.
But the biggest shocker, blockbuster, the thing that blew me away was that Tommy Tallarico is back and is helping out with the Amico, in charge or taking, overlooking the marketing aspect of the new games that are being launched with Happy Home Games or whatever it's called.
So, John, I heard that you guys have a marketing budget put aside for this. So do you have a target? Your target audience in mind is going to be a lot smaller with, your mobile games than it would have been with a physical product on the shelf. Have you guys kind of readjusted how you're looking to, communicate with that new audience? I mean,
well, I'm not involved intimately in that part of what we're doing. We have engaged a marketing company that's helping us, and Tommy is primarily spearheading that with the marketing company. Tommy is primarily spearheading that with the marketing company. Tommy is primarily spearheading that with the marketing company. We do want to have something that's more direct targeted advertising. You know, he's mentioned that, like targeting the groups or the areas that are our target audience, basically, you know, families, young families.
Happy Hole Games is a new subsidiary. How do you say it? Subsidiary? I'm sorry, my Mexican-ish is coming out right now. It's a side company, not the Amico, because I guess they don't want to be held liable for the funds of that company. You know, that's what I'm assuming. Allegedly, is releasing games, and on Steam and on the Nintendo Switch, which everybody in the beginning, all the haters, were telling them to do in the first place, you know, to get some money and all that stuff. And anyways, they're doing things in reverse. They're going to release it on these systems, and they're hoping that, you know, with that type of money, they can give some refunds as well and continue to, you know, fund this whole project or whatever they're doing, kind of just going whim by whim. However, those games haven't started marketing yet. They have a budget for that marketing. Now, it's funny how Retro Bro, who told me about this stream, pointed out that they have money for this marketing that they haven't, you know, started it. They put it aside, but they don't have money for all the refunds that have been submitted. I mean, I understand you want to keep on making money, but you have an obligation to those people who want refunds. It is your responsibility to give them refunds as soon as you can, as soon as you had the money. When you sold Atari, when you sold the brand to Atari and television, then you should have just started. And I understand, you know, you're working for free, John Alvarado. That's what he said. He's working for free for a bit. And yeah, we see it because you guys went freaking bankrupt. It's like, just squander 17 million. But it isn't the people who requested refunds responsibility to fund your endeavor. Not anymore. You guys said explicitly that you guys had all this refund money on reserve, on escrow, that if anybody ever wanted it, they can get it back. But look at you now, years from now, writing scripts about that. Yeah, even though you have all this marketing money set aside. Marketing money that is gonna go to waste. Evel Knievel, I mean, look at it. It would have been great 10 years ago, before all the damn rip-offs of that genre. I mean, I can get games like this for $5 that are graphically and physically, you know, when it comes to physics and stuff, better than what I see with the Evel Knievel. I mean, why would I want to waste my money on just because it's from you guys? No, man. Especially in these times when you guys supposedly were gonna make games for like $2, $5. We can get that for $2, $5. Why spend 15 or something that you guys are gonna obviously charge? So these games aren't gonna make the money that you guys need to do anything. So all you're doing is just prolonging what should have been done in the first place, and just first try to give everybody their refunds, then declare bankruptcy. Because what I'm seeing now is just sad. But besides that, you know, I look at this and I'm like, I understand you want to keep things going for the people who deserve for you guys to, you know, deliver. And you guys are trying hard, you know, working off the clock and all that bullshit, you know, I get it. I do. But I think that time is gone. No Swear Gamer recently reminded me that it's been 6.5 years since this thing first was announced. 6.5 years, guys. I mean, what are we doing here? Like, why do we still have faith in these guys? Why are we still willing to work for free for these guys? Now, DJC, I have nothing against him. I like the guy, lovable fella. I even love his off humor. His trailer that he made for them was freaking on brand. I love it.
I asked you, DJC, if you could help me make a trailer, and you did.
I sent one. Let's play it, and then we'll see what you said about this.
Right.
All right, here is the trailer that I sent to John. I said,
yeah,
this is going to go up. The fans are going to want this right away. Oh. What do you say there, stranger? What can I get for you?
Nothing for me, thanks. Just need to rest. Been on quite the adventure.
Looks like you're quite the traveler.
I've been all over the place. I've been in the forest. I've been in the graveyard. I've been in secret caves. Did I even mention the frog?
The frog?
And I can also change seasons.
You can change seasons. Why would you need to do that?
Of course, to get out of a tight situation.
Makes sense. At least you got away from them bees.
Yeah, until the wasp comes.
The wasp?
I've been all around.
Looks like you got a lot on your plate, stranger.
I'd say this adventure's last forever.
What's your name, anyways?
Name's Finnegan.
I mean, I guess they gave you a console, so, you know, and, you know, Atari creep out here saying that he'll develop or solder the controller to them. Come on, bro. I guess that too. You know, they gave you a console. But it just feels, I after all this time, you know, after all these letdowns, and to think if they do get funding again, or if they do get some money from these games, just they're not going to. They need like millions, you know. But you're gonna trust them again to develop another system after all what they've done in this economy? And don't even get me to Mike Moelis making this all about him and why he had to leave YouTube.
Because I've had some pent up, I've had some pent up stuff, you know, and I'm not. Hello to everybody. This is a rare YouTube sighting for me. I don't use YouTube anymore. I basically left because of this. Not because of you guys, of course, but because, you know, some of those people who are probably watching, you know, like you, Chuck, you know, they hate me because I am holding on to supporting Amico and what Amico is about as a father of more than anything. I mean, I love playing the stuff, but as a dad, and so, you know, go after me and you know, I have friends that are like, come on, it can't be that bad. And I'm like, dude, put my name in a YouTube search and you'll see some of the most vile stuff that has been over a video game console. And they've gone after my kids.
You left YouTube because you suck, bro. Because people kept on making fun of you because of shit you say. Because you had no humor. You couldn't take criticism. And you ran. He blamed it on his kids. Okay, I mean, if that's the case, then bon voyage. But don't come back playing a victim and trying to turn the whole stream about you. Because that's what you did. And nobody cares. With your flaming hot nipples. Go back to Rumble where you belong. But at the end, they kind of still gave up the game. They're still looking to be acquired. That's what they hope. They hope that they can develop some kind of wealth with their company selling these games and get acquired again. That was what they were hoping from the beginning. they weren't really hoping to release a console. They were hoping to prop up this company to make it look like it was something that it wasn't, that in hopes that it would get acquired by a bigger publisher with the games and everything. But I mean, the game, it kind of already did get acquired. You know, all the games went to Atari. You know, the games that they have now, I mean, they're pretty much just a publisher who's gonna have to try to publish games and have other people make games for them. John Alvarado can't make all the games himself, man. So I don't even know anymore. Like, the only reason why I'm covering it is just because Tommy Tallarico is supposedly back, and he's gonna be in charge of marketing, which the money should be going back to refunds. Now, is he actually gonna be out here on screen again? You know, we understand he went through a hard time, but supposedly he's healed now. So I guess he's got to get ready for the ruckus, because if he's back, the ruckus is coming. I'm going to leave it right there. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Remember, always be kind to yourself and enjoy your life. And I'll meet you right there. One more thing. I don't judge these guys for wanting to help, you know, or be excited for the company, because, you know, to each their own. Let them be excited for whatever they like. You know, if you're excited about freaking pennies being expired now, then, you know, that's your jam. Just sad to see for me, personally.